Welcome back to Giant Monster Games. I'm Adrian, and today we are playing Goblins, or Token Goblins, or Budget Goblins. It has like 3 names, I noticed. And we can keep this opening hand. This is actually pretty good. Let's keep this guy and see how this pans out for us. Windswept Heath, that could be a lot of things, actually. I'm just going to skip through the rest of our opponent's turn, and then on our turn, we're probably just going to drop a Signal Pest. We may even play the... Ooh, excellent. We're going to play the Misdirection card here, and we're going to play Darksteel Citadel followed up by a Signal Pest, and totally make our opponent think that we're probably playing an Affinity deck. And then we're going to drop a bunch of Goblins on the table, and he's going to be like, what? What's going on here? I don't understand. Okay, well, our opponent has some Elf Warrior creature. Not really sure what that is going to be doing. And a Scavenging Ooze, which that may actually be a problem for us once we get to, like, the late game, because we have stuff that dies a lot. We have a lot of tokens that die a lot as well, but we also have a lot of creatures that die a lot. So yeah, he might be gaining a lot of life just off of that thing right there. And what do we draw? We draw a mountain. We don't really want a mountain, but I think we'll take a mountain anyways. And we could Bushwhacker. What do we think? So I think I'm going to slowly build up my board state and then attack. So if I this turn play a Mog War Marshal, I'll get 2 tokens, and then next turn I can play for 3 tokens, and yes, we're gonna go that way. It'd be better to get a little bit extra stuff on the table, so we're gonna go this way. Just trying to do the math here, so we're gonna get 2 from this thing, and then next turn we are going to get 2 from Rebirth, and then 2 from Reckless Bushwhacker as well. So we'll get, and then, oh, sorry, we're not going to get 2 from Reckless Bushwhacker. We're going to get extra damage dealing capacity from Reckless Bushwhacker. So that is going to be the plan. Obviously, Goblin Pile Driver would be really good to have on the table, but I think getting faster stuff on the table is going to be better for us. Fingers crossed. I'm really hoping that our opponent says, hey, I'm just going to swing it with everything, because that would be really nice for us to basically have the complete jump on our opponent at this point. That is what I hope for. That is my dream. That is the dream right now. Come on, attack with everything. Oh, yes, our opponent has no clue what's about to happen to him. It's going to be fantastic. And I hope he doesn't play a creature. That'd be so cool if he just, like, doesn't play another creature. Yes, I'm not blocking. Do not play anything else. Do not play anything else. Hardened Scales. Yes, that is a perfect card for you to play. Come on. Yeah. Okay, it is our turn. Our guy dies. We get another Goblin token, which is fine. No, we're not going to pay for it. And then we're about to make our opponent very surprised. I don't think we're going to do enough to kill our opponent. Oh. Bushwhacker, this is going to be fantastic. I'm really excited for this. Okay, first things first, tap that down. Play this, sacrificing Darksteel. Yep, 3 tokens. Our opponent's not going to be able to do anything with that. And then, what do I think? Goblin... Reckless Bushwhacker, or... Yeah, it has to be Reckless Bushwhacker, because I don't have 2 red mana. I have a colorless and a red right here. And then we're going to go to combat and swing in for a whole bunch of damage. Surprise! Turn 3, Bonanza, coming for your face. Attack with all creatures. How much damage is this going to be? We're about to find out. Our opponent, needless to say, did not see this coming. So this is going to be, what, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 damage. If he has no response, he dies on turn 3 with $40 butt. Does our opponent have a response? We're about to find out. Any blocks? No blocks. We go to sideboard. Oh, God. That's fantastic. Turn 3 win. That is fantastic. We are going to throw in 3 of these guys because they're going to bounce that Scavenging Ooze and whatever else we don't want to see back to our opponent's hand. And what do we take out in place of that? We take out a single Hordling Outburst because it is not as... We don't really need it. We don't need it that much. Mog War Marshal can come out. Goblin Pile Driver. We kind of just thin down the board a little bit, I think, is the best way of actually dealing with this. And honestly, I will take out a Mountain as well because we're taking out one of our 3-drop spells in place for 2-drop spells. And run her back like that. See what we get. We could also have put in Tormod's Crypt. I didn't... We'll have to see. If I see Tarmogoyf, which is completely a possibility, this is a really bad hand. We cannot keep this opening hand, by the way. If we would have saw Tarmogoyf, I probably would have put in the Tormod's Crypts, just because that would allow us to... This is a dangerous opening hand. A bad, dangerous opening hand. Okay, we're going to mulligan this as well. But we will keep this guy. This is okay. We have 2 Foundry Street Denizens, which is good. But anyways, as I was saying, if we would have saw Tarmogoyf, I would have thrown the Tormod's Crypt, because we can actually shrink that guy back down, and another Foundry Street Denizen. I'm going to put it on the bottom of the library because I'd rather see a mountain or something on top of the library rather than another one, evolving one. So we're basically playing against the hardened scales. I get super big creatures with all the tokens on them deck, which is fine. We can probably beat that. Ideally, we can hopefully beat that. We beat it last turn on turn 3 with Bonanza O Goblins. Okay, well, here we go. Going to our opponent, we do have a Goblin Grenade, which means if we can get our opponent down to 5, or he can help us get himself down to 5 by doing stuff like this, we could potentially blow him out of the water with relative ease, because 5 damage is a huge spread. Like, 3 damage, you know you're in the danger zone. 5 damage, you should theoretically think you're safe. And, ooh, there you get some value. Mega value out of that stuff. Obviously, we're not going to be swinging with Foundry Street Denizen next turn. 3-4. Ugh. Not fun for me. This is already turning out to be not very good. But because his creatures are getting a whole bunch of tokens on it, putting in all 4 of those guys is going to be a really good idea. We just need a mountain and one of them. That is not one of them. Okay. So we have 2 options. The first one is we can play a Street Denizen, which isn't going to do that much to us. We could potentially Goblin Grenade this guy away, or Goblin Guide Experimental one away. I think that is actually the better bet, because Experimental one is probably going to get really big really fast, so I don't want to do it, but I think I need to do it. Just basically get rid of Experimental one, because it is going to get big, and it is going to be very hard for us to deal with. I am kind of a sad panda at this point. The saddest of pandas. And hopefully we'll see what our opponent does. He is playing Avatar of the Resolute. That is also going to be very hard for us to deal with. And casting Rancor and stuff. So he's having a fantastic opening hand. Well, I'm glad our opponent is doing very well this turn, because we are not doing very well. We need another mountain. Obviously, we had a 6-land hand? No, 5-land hand. We had a 5-land hand to start out with, which is just not keepable. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And Foundry Street Denizen, I guess, and we could play a Goblin Bushwhacker. Potentially 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not going to be enough to get us there, but it will give us chump blockers if we need them. It's really bad. I hate casting this guy without, not for his like special cost. Also because Denizen gets a little bit bigger, but we don't get to utilize him. Ugh. Okay, well, here we go. Here we go. Obviously, we can't block the guy with the guy with Rancor on him, but we can chump block Avatar. No, Avatar also has a trample. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we're going to go down to take the 10, and we will see what we draw. I don't think it's going to be enough, to be quite honest, because I'm not going to just sacrifice a guy to deal 1 less damage. That doesn't seem very good, in my opinion. Going down to 2, and what do we draw? We draw a Goblin Piledriver. I don't think that's going to get us there. Not even in the slightest. Okay, let's scoop this one up. Go to game 2. I don't think he has Tarmogoyf because he is making things bigger. So what can we put in instead? Fork Bolt is not going to be very good against this. His stuff's getting really big or coming in really big anyways. Goblin Piledriver is decent, but not really that amazing. Dragon's Claw is a potential option. I mean, we could play it and hopefully stabilize our life a little bit while we try and draw into stuff. I don't know how good idea that is either. I think we're literally just going to run it back the way it is, and hopefully we draw the absolute perfect hand again. That's what we're going to do. I think that is the current game plan. We are going to play first, which does give us the advantage, and another 1-land hand. I mean, seriously, we shouldn't be drawing just 1 land. We technically should be able to draw 2 lands. We cannot keep this because we don't have a turn 1 play. We will keep this on the other hand because we do have a couple of turn 1 plays, and we're going to keep. And what do we have on top of our library? It is a mountain. It is going to stay on top of our library, and we are actually golden right now. We are sitting in the zone as of right now because we can obviously shock some of his early turn stuff off the table. We will play Denizen because Denizen will at least be able to swing in as we're bolting down his stuff, which is going to be the plan for early game, is basically shock, and attack. That's basically the plan. Right there. Shock, attack. Obviously, I wish these were Lightning Bolt. Honestly, if you are upgrading this deck, please replace Shock with Lightning Bolt. It is so much better. I can't describe to you how much it pains me to be playing Shock in this deck. But, again, the deck would be not a $40 deck, it would be a $55 deck if we were playing all of our Lightning Bolts instead of Shock, which is not really worth it, to be honest. Our opponent doesn't play anything. That's neat, so let's just Goblin War Marshal. He may actually have a Lightning Bolt in hand. It might be aiming to bolt our Foundry Denizen, which is fine by me. Yeah, there we go. He's gonna bolt it. Seems like a good reason to hold on to something and not actually play anything. I wish I had your Lightning Bolt. Give me your Lightning Bolt, I'll trade you Shock for it. I tell you, it's such a better card. And go to our opponent's turn. We're obviously not attacking it with anything because we don't have anything to attack in with. And we'll just skip through our opponent's turn as well. He may play... What is he going to play? Endless One? Avatar of the Resolute. That is going to get shocked right now. That is my way of saying it is going to... Oh, I'm not going to pay for this. Sorry. And yes, we're going to get a token. Thank you very much. Tokens are good, and mountains are even better. So let's shock your guy. I don't care about its face. Play a Signal Pest. And we have another shock sitting in hand. Obviously, we are basically out of gasoline at this point, but hopefully we draw into something good. I mean, our opponent has 4 cards in hand, and we mulligan down as well, so there is always that. And it is going to be our opponent's turn. Fingers crossed he doesn't have anything to kill off our Signal Pest, and hopefully he doesn't play anything very big because we could technically shock and then get in for damage if he doesn't do anything, ideally. This is a potential. Plus, we also have something we could play, potentially, if, we get either of our Bushwhackers, we can pump all of our guys. If we get another... What else could we be drawing that is actually going to help us immediately? Those are the only things. The Bushwhackers are the only thing that's going to immediately help us get somewhere. That is cool. So he's going to create a plant token to help block stuff. And do we shock the plant token? That is the next question. What is this also? He puts a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, and you gain a bunch of life is the last ability on that. We draw a mountain. That is not good. So we could shock the plant token and swing into our opponent's face for 4, or swing into this guy for 4. Yeah, I think we're actually not gonna... If we shock... What do we think? I think it's going to work out the same either way, so yeah, we'll just shock the token. And then that will happen, and then we're going to go to combat. Everything's going to swing into his Planeswalker because that's actually going to slow us down a lot. So there you go, Nissa. You can take a bunch of damage to the face. And then we're going to ship it to our opponent's turn. We are now top decking, and our opponent has 3 cards in hand, which is generally not very good for us. Fingers crossed we draw into something good. I mean, we have tons of stuff. Hopefully no mountains. That is kind of the feeling right now. Do not want to draw into more... Scavenging Ooze! Remember that time I should have kept Shock? That would have been fantastic. Right about now. Well. Yep, there we go. He's going to make it bigger. We could have potentially shocked in response. Mind you, he would have probably Wooded Foothills get a forest to do another one, because there's more than one creature in the graveyard. Well, that is a thing. Signal Pest is going to be neat. Not neat enough to win us the game very fast, but we are going to play it and ship it to our opponent's turn. I am not going to swing in and let these guys die off, because I would rather them be 3/3s and these guys be 1/1s when I attack. Or 3/1s, sorry, and these guys be 1/1s when I attack. He also could have other stuff to wipe this. That is also completely a possibility. I would not be surprised if he has Pyroplasm or even Aggro the Gods in his deck, especially from the sideboard, because his stuff generally gets really big really fast, and it's a lot easier to get creatures really big and then pyro the board. So, alright, well, let's wait and see what our opponent actually does. And he doesn't do anything on his first main step. He swings in with the Scavenging Ooze, which is fine by me. He's probably going to play something in his second main step, which we'll see. We will see. Because otherwise we're going to swing in for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage in true Goblin fashion. What is he going to do? He's probably playing a Tarka's Command. No, he played something else. Target creature gets +4/+4 and trample until end of turn. Okay. We don't have another spell. We have to hold on to this guy. That's the one downside about this Bushwhacker, is in order if we pay his surge cost, creatures get +1/+0 in haste. If we don't pay it, he just comes into the battlefield. So you need to have another spell in hand in order to play him. So we're just going to go to combat. Swing in with everything. Attack with all creatures. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we, 1, do not draw a mountain next turn, 2, draw one of our many 2-drop spells. Fingers crossed. Because if we do, we may be able to win the game. I am going to have a hunch that our opponent is probably going to not swing in with Scavenging Ooze. He is going to eat Scavenging Ooze and get some life back, which is going to help him a little bit. Not going to help him enough in the late game, I don't think, though. And go to our opponent's turn. Oh, he blocks nothing. Yeah, okay. So our opponent takes 8 damage from all of our stuff. 6, 7, 8. Goes to our opponent's turn. What does our opponent do? Unless he can kill us this turn, which could potentially be a possibility depending on what he has. If he's holding onto a bolt, I mean, he has 2 cards in hand. Likely not. And I have a hunch he doesn't have another one of those guys that gives things +4/+4. Pyroplasm would be really good for our opponent. Devil is okay. He's going to give him a little bit more blocking power. And is it just going to go to our turn, or is our opponent going to be silly? Our opponent is being silly and attacking us. What are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? I don't understand. Oh, he may have a pyro or something in his hand. Or he may have... what? I don't think he has enough to kill us. And he should know that we probably have enough to kill him. I would assume he knows that. So he's going to eat something. Oh, make it bigger. Okay, that's good. Good for our opponent, not good for us, obviously. I mean, need to be talking about our opponent's strategy at the same time, because how is it going to counteract our strategy? And what else does he play? 2 green. 2 green casts what? It casts Vines of the Wood, so... okay. That's going to make it big. Does he have anything else to make it even bigger? I don't think so. No, so we're down to 4. Which means if we draw a 1-drop, we probably win. That is going to do it, I think. Yeah, that totally does it. Because we go like this. 1, 2. We bounce his Rakdos guy. Because he has 1. Yeah. And we go like this. Trigger. You. Yep. No blockers for you. And then we play the Surge cost for this guy and go all aggro. 7 turn 7 win. Normally this deck is way faster. Does our opponent scoop it up? He knows that we are about to swing in for a ton of damage. It is going to be, just so we can total it up here, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It would be 21 damage if our opponent didn't scoop it up, but our opponent did scoop it up. So there you go. This is Budget Goblins going to 2-0-2-1 finish. And yeah, that was kind of fun, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to pound the like button. Subscribe to Giant Monster Games if you want to see more videos just like this one. But until next time, don't forget to game like a giant monster.